Ready? Green, green, green.
These drivers put on a great show on every type of track. Driving these cars, banging off of each other.
Now, he gets sideways. He's off the racetrack. There he goes, trying to make the pass.
If you're a driver trying to get in, you get little opportunities like that.
Watch how hard these guys are going to drive.
Checkered flag in the air.
Checkered flag there, champion.
The Toyota Napa Auto Parts 150 marks the 16th visit to the All-American Speedway for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West Tour. Originally, this track was a quarter-mile dirt, but it was repaved back in '72. But from 2008 forward, this facility was completely renovated into its current one-third mile asphalt oval configuration. Hi, everybody. Ray Dunlap, along with Todd Bodine and Heather DeBoe. This evening, we're here at All-American Speedway, ready to go racing for the penultimate event of 2014. And boy, we got a great points race here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series and an absolutely beautiful fall California evening. 68 degrees, no wind, and a clear forecast for the night. 4 drivers still with a shot at the championship. Dylan Lupton just 15 behind Greg Pursley. And now let's go down trackside and check in with Heather.
Hey, thanks, guys. It is a big weekend here at All-American Speedway. Not only is it the second-to-last race for the K&N West Series, but Bill McAnally, the local team owner and race promoter, is putting on a great show for the fans tonight. Also, along with that, a part of the proceeds are going to go to benefit breast cancer awareness and research. So it's super awesome, and it's a great evening. Speaking of which, in support of that cause, a group of local celebrities and myself took to the track for a little bit of action of our own. Speaking of action, I definitely got some. Going out of turn 2, I maybe might have overcorrected the car just a little bit and put it in the wall, but it was a ton of fun, and regardless, that was the best half a lap I've ever raced in my life. Now, Brian Hickey, he took home the win for the 3rd time in a row in this media race, and we had a blast, so thanks to Bill for giving us the opportunity to do so. But now it's time to get down to business as the K&N West Series straps in for 150 laps of short track racing, Northern California style.
Heather, I think you better keep that microphone in your hand and no helmet. But, Todd, if you're going to win tonight, what's the key to success?
Well, track position, short tracks, man, it's hard to pass. You've got to have that track position. Forward bite, getting up off these corners. These are straight, long straightaways. You've got to get some drive that gets good speed. Picking the right line in the restarts. You don't know which one's going to move, and you got to get in the right one.
Christian Payhood is our pole sitter tonight, and he's standing by with Heather.
Hey, thanks, guys. Here with tonight's pole sitter, Christian Payhood. Now, Christian, it's your first time here at All-American Speedway. First time in the K&N West Series, making your debut, and you got the pole.
Yeah, I mean, I can't thank these guys enough at Bill McAnally Racing and Peak Auto. And I just, like I said, I can't thank these guys enough for giving me this opportunity and just getting me out here and in front of all these people. I mean, it's a great crowd, as you guys can see. I just can't wait to put on a good show for these guys.
That's awesome. Now, you won the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge. What's one thing that you could bring from that you learned to tonight's race?
I would say probably the car control challenge. We had to drive the car sideways in the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge, and just actually helped me out a little bit to get that feel for being sideways. Now I'm comfortable with it, and I can go do it on a regular basis.
All right, Christian Payhood leading the field to green on his first K&N West Series debut.
Christian becomes the 13th different driver to win a pole here at All-American Speedway in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. And as Heather said, we've got a great crowd on hand tonight, getting ready to go racing. With just 2 races left in the season, we've got another driver in the field that many fans may know, Michael Waltrip's with Heather.
Hey, thanks, guys. Here with 2-time Daytona 500 champion and Sprint Cup Series team owner Michael Waltrip. Now, Michael, how much fun is it to return here to the K&N West Series and race with some of the best up-and-coming drivers?
It's just amazing. Short track racing is alive and well. It's a great crowd, a fun little racetrack. I haven't raced on a track this small in quite a while, so I've got big feet. Getting all this stuff worked out on a track like this is challenging for me, so I'm going to start in the middle of the field, but very confident in my car. Jerry Baxter and the boys have got it tuned up, and looking forward to giving it a run.
All right, well, good luck tonight. Let's watch Michael Waltrip take his big feet out onto this little short track.
Well, thank you, Heather. Michael will start back in 13th tonight as he's driving the green number 1, and that'll have Bill McAnally with 3 cars in the field tonight. Keep in mind, that team has won 6 of the last 10 races here at All-American Speedway.
Bill McAnally here. Before we watch NASCAR racing go Roseville style, I want to take a minute and thank every race fan, sponsor, local business, community club, organization, and the local media for making this year's NASCAR Fall Classic at All-American Speedway the biggest and best yet. The October fall night was perfect. We had the youngsters in the Mini Cup cars, the Baselite Media Blitz, a record number of late models in the Napa Mufflers and Shocks Penny Law Office's Pacific Challenge 100, and the headliner, the NASCAR K&N Toyota Napa Auto Parts 150 presented by Ace Easy One. It was all kicked off by Rachel Wilson with an amazing national anthem. The local media was hungry and excited to cover some NASCAR racing. They did us all very well, with live local news on News 10, KCRA 3, Fox 40, Good Day Sacramento 31, KOVR 13, media print on the SAC-B, Gold Country Media, and many more radio stations and local media that supported this event.
Well, the All-American Speedway in Roseville has teamed up with the Breast Cancer Endowment in Placer to host a NASCAR media racing event.
The Midway was packed with fans. Over 30 vendor booths were set up, giving the race fans and vendors, local businesses, one-on-one FaceTime opportunities. VIP hospitality, both the Wells Fargo Hospitality Corral and Baselite's private beer garden set records in attendance this year. Fans had a chance to get up close and meet the NASCAR K&N drivers at the Midway autograph session. The classic Hot Rod Car Show was a fan favorite with over 60 amazing classics on display. This event wouldn't be possible without the support and activation from Napa Auto Parts, Toyota, Roseville Toyota, Ace and Easy One, Wells Fargo, Hertz, Pepsi, Coors, Baselite, Bearco Redwood, the Mini Fans, Interstate Plastics, Chick-fil-A, Jim Boy Tacos, and many other local and community businesses that supported this great event. This year's Toyota Napa 150 NASCAR Fall Classics proceeds helped many, including our partners at Placer Breast Cancer Endowment supporting UC Davis, the Grant High School Drumline, the 4-H, FFA, Red Cross, our local youth and high school sports programs, Roseville Police Department, the Roseville Reserves, and many others. Your support and efforts makes a difference to many in our community. Placer Valley Tourism once again honored this year's NASCAR Fall Classic as the largest one-day event in our county. Highlights to this year's event included two-time Daytona 500 champion Michael Waltrip and our Grand Marshal Larry McReynolds, legendary NASCAR crew chief and current NASCAR on Fox race analyst. And the most rewarding part to our Bill McAnally race team is to bring in a first-time NASCAR K&N driver. In his very first start, Christian Payhood, winner of the Peak Stock Car Challenge to get the opportunity to drive for us, captured the Coors Pole and won the Toyota Napa Auto Parts 150. All in all, a perfect event. Can't wait till next year. Thank you. Enjoy the race.
Race cars are on the track as we get ready to go with the Toyota Napa Auto Parts 150. Christian Payhood on the pole, James Bickford on the outside in the Sunrise Ford. There's your top 10 starters as we move back through the field.
Back in 15th, we have Nicole Behar, her third race in the series. In State Line, she finished 6th, which tied the best finish for a female in the series.
22 starters as they come out of turn number 4, ready to go. The green flag is in the air, and here we go. Christian Payhood on the pole, and he takes the inside line.
Really clean start, Ray. Looks like the outside lane has got some grip up there.
You know, Todd, this is what bull ring action is all about. They changed this racetrack from a quarter mile to a third, and we see action all the time. And check this out. How about Bickford goes down to the inside, and he and Brendan McReynolds will take first and second away from our pole sitter.
That forward drive we talked about, it's a lot easier to get when you're in the outside groove. The corner isn't as sharp, which allows the car to roll a little faster, and it's easier to get that bite.
David Mayhew started back in 6th position in that MMI car, and he is now up to 4th, right on the bumper of the number 99.
Front 2 driving away a little bit. Tire management is very critical with these cars.
Let's go back down to Heather and get a report on the driver of that car number 6, James Bickford, who's raced here a lot.
Guys, one guy who has a lot of experience here at this track is the driver of the number 6, James Bickford. He actually won the track championship here at All-American Speedway in a late model last year, and he holds the title for the youngest track champion and youngest race winner. One thing he told me today that he's excited to be here at the track, but he's even more excited because he got his driver's license and he was able to drive himself here. So, hey, he's moving up, growing up, and he's doing good out there in the track.
Nothing better than being able to go to the racetrack in your own car, right, Toddles?
Absolutely. It shows you the state of this series is fantastic with these young kids coming up. He's just getting his driver's license. That's awfully young to be racing, and he's doing a great job.
Incredible season for James Bickford, but I'll tell you, this Christian Payhood, this guy really has been very, very impressive. And as we look back a little bit, you'll see where Greg Pursley is right now. Once again, he's our point leader coming into this race, and he's having a good battle with Dylan Lupton. Guess what? Those two guys at the top of the point standings, we'll have to have our eye on those two all throughout the evening.
Absolutely. These guys racing together like this and leading the points, you got to be careful how you race that guy, because you don't want to be the one that gets him taken out of a good finish and messing the points race up.
15 points separating these two drivers with 2 events remaining. And keep in mind, Pursley very, very good when we go to Phoenix. So no doubt that Dylan Lupton would like to put a few positions between he and Greg Pursley tonight. Now we go back up to the front.
James Bickford got a little lead going on Brandon McReynolds. I started to say earlier that tire management is critical on these short tracks, especially with these bias ply tires. And you run away from the field like this in the beginning, and you could be asking for trouble at the end of the race.
Guess what? 150 laps tonight, and they're already into some lap traffic as we get to 13 circuits complete. So Bickford has his eye on those cars. You see the number 15 of Jack Sellers, one of the first cars to go a lap down. He'll go to the inside. And now Brandon McReynolds is going to try the outside, but one other lap car could be in the way.
And you see, this is typical short track racing. That lap car got in James Bickford's way and gave Brandon the opportunity, but the car slid up and got back to the front.
Dave Smith goes to the high side, gives room to the front runners, and McReynolds now comes up off the corner. A nice run for the 99 Peak Race car that time. He has closed that gap on second and third.
Christian's doing a great job here. He won that Peak Challenge and first time in the West Series and running third. And you can see that he's struggling a little bit. I think that lap car let him catch up a little, but maybe he's taking it easy and keeping the tires on the car.
We heard from Michael Waltrip at the top of the show. Obviously, he had a big deal in that Peak Challenge. Oh, down to the inside. The 16 car tries to do it, but he gets the left rear tires off of the asphalt.
The lap car pinched him down into the infield. This is a tough little short track. Those guys want to get to the bottom of the track and get out of the leader's way, and Brandon McReynolds thought he was going to get the inside on him. Jason Bowles set the track qualifying record here back in 2009. Get this, Todd, 13.589. I mean, you don't have time to even breathe. No, that's for a short track, the third mile like this, that is fast. They're getting around here in a hurry. Around 87 miles an hour, the pole qualifying speed. And here we go. Down to the inside goes McReynolds one more time. He will use that very bottom of the corner. You see there, Brandon ran up the racetrack a little bit. Looked like he's trying to use the second groove. Well, he back to the bottom in 3 and 4, but it's interesting how they're going to move around, to see how they move around. There you go. Brandon's running the second groove in 1 and 2. We have a caution out.
Yellow is out for the first time tonight in the Napa 150. It appears that the 38 car of Dave Smith may have gone around. I have a feeling we may see a few yellows throughout the course of this evening when you see this kind of side-by-side action all the way around this tricky little racetrack.
Third mile to racetrack, as tight as these corners are, you're going to see a lot of cautions.
Taking a look from our front stretch cam, we can see there's Smith going around in the 9 car of Lupton right behind him. Not sure if there was contact there or not, but with Smith getting sideways and beginning that spin there, NASCAR said, let's throw the yellow. I think it was a good call.
Yeah, I think what you see there is a typical short track. Lupton got underneath the lap car, and the lap car just came down and got him into the infield.
Oh, under yellow for the first time tonight. On the pole, the 99, he's dropped back a couple of spots. Beautiful night here in California as we get ready to go back to racing here at All-American Speedway in Roseville. On the inside, car number 6, that is James Bickford. To the outside, Brandon McReynolds. And again, McReynolds driving for Bill McAnally Racing, who's had so much success at this track. The green is back out.
We'll see if Brandon can make this outside work. We saw it on the initial start. He got a good drive off the corner.
Brandon now going up on the high side. He's got a good drive, but here comes Bickford back down to the inside, and they are side by side.
Looks like the outside's a little better in 1 and 2 than it is 3 and 4. If Brandon can clear him here, he can get the lead.
And Bickford spun the tires just a little bit off of that corner, it appears, Todd. But look, here he goes. He gets that grip again, and, man, this is good racing.
Brandon's being very generous here, giving him plenty of room on the inside, and he gets the lead.
The Sunrise Ford drops back to second. Give the Napa Auto Parts car the lead. Brandon McReynolds to the front.
Pursley and Mayhew had a great battle. David had to fall back in line in 5th.
Boy, how much of that have we seen this season?
This is a great series. You know, these guys, this top 10 cars are very, very competitive, very equal, and a lot of great drivers. Caution is out again.
Yellow flag for the second time. The 5 car has gone around, and Thomas Martin spins it. It looks like he's right up there at the exit to the pit area, but no contact with the wall. So that's good news.
That's one thing about this little racetrack. The walls are quite a ways from the bottom, the racing groove in the corners, and you can get turned around and not get into the wall and tear your stuff up, which is great for these teams.
And we've seen that twice tonight. So Thomas Martin goes around. Caution is out the second time. We need another commercial break. Back after this. 7 of our 15 prior races here at All-American Speedway have been won by the pole sitter. We'll see if that holds true this evening. But right now, Christian Payhood, who won our pole, is back in 3rd. He's down on the inside line in that number 99. To the bottom is the 6 of Bickford, and Brandon McReynolds gets a good restart.
As the leader, Brandon chose the outside groove. That just tells you how much grip is out there, especially through 1 and 2, and he gets the lead back.
And in your storylines tonight, you told us which line you take could make a big difference. We'll keep our eye on that throughout the course of the evening.
Pursley on the outside, he might get the 2nd place.
It really looked like Bickford spun the tires again just a little bit coming off of the outside of turn number 2, and here comes Pursley down the front straightaway. They're side by side beating fenders.
You can see there, Pursley gets a better bite out there. It's just a little faster off of 2 up on the outside.
Mayhew having a good battle with Dylan Lupton. Mayhew in that bright orange number 17. He goes to the outside. They were 3 wide for a second. The good news was the 74 of Luis Terrell dropped back and gave him a little bit of room.
Christian Payhood, he's giving Bickford a little trouble on the outside. He's got a good car. I think Bickford pushed it a little too early and maybe got his tires a little hot, and they gave up a little bit here, and he's having a little trouble here.
Bickford jumped right to the lead on the initial green flag lap, but now he is back, and there goes Pursley past him. Todd, I can't emphasize enough how important the points race is tonight, especially for Pursley and Lupton. Those two guys. Whoa, yellow flag out again, our third caution of the night. It looks like Luis Terrell has spun around, and I think David Mayhew may have even got a part of that. Those guys were running in the top 5 at the time. We'll have to see if we can get another look at it.
Yeah, my guess is racing for that position. One or the other got into the other trying to get into the right line on the racetrack.
Mayhew gives him a little hi, how are you, as he goes driving by there. Mayhew, again, both of these cars were either running for 5th or 6th. I can't remember, but good side-by-side battle when the spin happened.
Mayhew dropped back a little bit. Must have lost a few. He's back in the back. He must have got it turned around also.
Mayhew, of course, started the season catastrophically at Phoenix. Finished 24th with a water pump problem. And then they had an engine failure at Sonoma, and he finished 21st that day. Other than that, his numbers have been exemplary throughout the season. Look over to the right part of your screen. You see both of those cars spinning simultaneously.
Kind of hard to tell what happened from that shot, but you know, 3 and 4, we've talked about the bottom of the racetrack is where you want to be. The outside groove isn't as fast, and I think we're going to see most of our problems in 3 and 4. Guys fighting to get to that bottom groove.
And a lot of drivers had their left side tires down off the racetrack. Mayhew going to go to the pit area. So the yellow flag fever continues here tonight in the Napa Auto Parts 150. Multiple spins tonight have brought out the yellow flag. You see David Mayhew coming back onto the track out of the pit area. We saw that just on the left of the screen, but the lights are out on the pace truck, and we are ready to go back to racing tonight after we've had a bunch of quick cautions. But the really good news, no major damage for any of the teams so far.
Brandon McReynolds with another great start on the outside. Pursley fighting back, though. He's not going to give it up.
Mayhew catching up to the back of the field. Pursley down to the inside. Payhood trying to use that middle groove of the racetrack. McReynolds has that pink on the bottom of the race car so you can differentiate his race car, and that 16 using the high side. Pursley now to the bottom of the track.
Brandon's very generous in 3 and 4. He doesn't crowd those guys right to the bottom of the track, but you see in 1 and 2 they're getting a great forward drive on the high side.
What an unbelievable year it's been for Greg Pursley. Mr. Consistency throughout the year, no question about that. Picked up his first win of the season at Bakersfield and also got credit for the West Series win at Iowa. So 2 victories this year for Pursley, but his numbers just out of this world when it comes to consistency.
Greg Pursley's always been a consistent driver in this series, in the West Series, and he's always contended for the championship and for race wins.
Came in here with a 15-point lead over Dylan Lupton. And once again, after tonight's event, we have the final race of the year at Phoenix. The big issue with the Phoenix track is that's the race where we have the most entries throughout the course of the year, so you've got to get a solid finish there. A bad run, and you can really lose a lot of points.
Being the last race at Phoenix also, you got to make sure you get to the end of the race. If you give up those points, you're in big trouble.
29 cars at Phoenix. We had 29 at Sonoma also. Now, talking about the championship, it's been a pretty good battle through the year, right, Heather?
Coming into tonight's race, it is a tight points battle between Dylan Lupton and Greg Pursley. They are separated by only 15 points. Now, when I spoke to Greg earlier today about the points battle, he said that he's just going to try to stay out of trouble tonight here at this track. If they can get a top 5 and go to Phoenix and race for it, they would be extremely happy. They want to maintain their points, but they're still going to try to get a win here at All-American Speedway.
Well, the points will take care of themselves when you run up front. We say that in and out, Todd, but no question about it. If you get the win, you're stealing extra bonus points away from your competitors.
Absolutely, and that's, they're all here to win the race. That's what they want to do, and to be bonused out on it like that, you definitely makes it something you got to get done.
Bob Bruncotti's cars side by side as they come out of the corner, and at that very same time, Rich DeLong III goes around in the Country Girl Saloon, number 84. It's just tight racing, Todd. I mean, that's all you can say about what we've seen tonight. It doesn't appear to me like anybody's being super aggressive.
No, it's just, the guys are really fighting hard for every spot to get to the bottom of the track. That's our second spin in 1 and 2, and we've had 3 and 4. So each end of the racetrack is pretty comparable to how tight it is and how much these guys are fighting for position.
Take a look there. We do see there was a little bit of contact. Couldn't spot exactly which car that was.
That orange car got up into him. Looked like he got down in there and hit the infield and pushed up into him.
65 laps complete. Brandon McReynolds out front of the field tonight, and what a deal it would be for Brandon to get a win tonight. Obviously, driving for McAnally's a big deal, but guess what? His dad, Larry McReynolds, was our Grand Marshal tonight, so he's on hand. And here we go, back to green flag racing. Brandon with another good jump.
Keeps choosing that outside lane and making it work, but now Pursley gets off the corner with him. So this is going to be interesting right here. Can he hold it?
Pursley driving for Gene Price Motorsports. They were a 2-car team, brought it down to a 1-car effort this year in quest for another championship. DeLong coming back onto the racetrack, and Pursley is able to clear him. McReynolds stays on that outside line, and they're still side by side.
Brandon jumped back in the gas, got a little sideways there. Oh, he drives it into one a little too deep. Looks like Pursley's going to get the spot.
Brandon fighting back, though. He's going to try to get into that throttle quickly coming out of turn number 4. Pursley with the lead, but the yellow flag is out once again, and this time, guess what? It's Mikey.
Michael's big feet must have gotten in the way down there. Let's see if he got a little help here.
Michael Waltrip, an infrequent competitor. I think this is just his 8th time that he's run out here in the West Series. He is a former winner in this division. Tonight, green1.com, along with Peak antifreeze on his race car. Doesn't appear he's been able to get it refired.
Yeah, it looks like it's stalled out, won't fire up. And a little bit in Michael's defense, when you come and you race a race and it's a one-off race and you're not used to doing it every week, it is difficult to get used to something and know what the limits of the car and the tires are. And to go out there, you don't know the guys you're racing against and how you can race them. So it's really tough to come in here in Michael's situation and try to do well.
They're going to get a wrecker up there and try to push start him. It looks like a little tiny bit of damage in that left rear fender. Maybe crinkled up the nose a bit as he came down off of the corner, but he does get it refired. And let's take a look at what happened.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was under him, and Michael was trying to make the move on the guy in front of him, an outside-in move, and there was no space down there.
Well, we have seen that a number of times this evening. Under caution for the 5th time tonight here in Roseville, California. Back with more racing soon. The yellow flag has been out 5 times tonight, and we are going to try to get you a long run here in the Napa Auto Parts 150 tonight. We're at the All-American Speedway. Green flag is back out. This time, Greg Pursley was on the bottom of the racetrack. McReynolds again tries to use the high side.
Very interesting choice for Pursley to take the bottom of the track, knowing that 1 and 2 on the outside is better, but he made it work.
10 top 5s this season for Greg Pursley. That's numbers that's hard to replicate.
Payhood now going for 2nd under McReynolds, inside groove, and he gets it. He's in under Pursley for the lead.
The Peak race car was on the pole tonight. He goes by Brandon McReynolds. He's down to the inside, and here he comes. Can he give a challenge to Greg Pursley? Now he has the bottom of the racetrack. Pursley on the outside. Payhood takes the lead.
Very patient by Payhood right here, not to get up in the side of Pursley, trying to get that lead. What a great race. This kid's doing an excellent job.
Side by side, here they come out of the corner, back down the front straightaway. Once again, we'll give the credit for the lap led there to the number 99. And I think that might be John Wood, who's gone off of the racetrack down in turns number 1 and 2, but apparently he gets it refired.
Payhood takes the lead. What a great job, Ray. That was 2 cars right in a row, got by both of them without putting a scratch on the car.
Now keep in mind that happened at lap 68. Is he running the car too hard too early is my question.
Well, that's exactly right, Ray. You know, this kid doesn't have a lot of experience. Caution's out again.
Yellow flag comes out tonight for the 6th time. Jacob Gomes has a spin over in turn number 4.
Yeah, I was saying, Ray, Christian Payhood doesn't have a lot of experience, and that could be his detriment at the end of this race, not knowing how much to push this car, how much to use these tires up. We saw right there, he was on it pretty hard to get by those two, and if he got the lead here, he's got to learn to pace himself.
Eric Holmes, a 4-time winner here tonight. Saw him talking with Christian before the race started, giving him some advice about how to run this track. And we see right there goes the 86. It gets spun around, coming right off of the corner. And Napa race car right behind them. That is Grayson Raz, who may have made a little bit of contact to help precipitate that spin.
Well, that's kind of typical short track racing also, Ray. If you don't get back to the throttle, get your forward momentum going, and the guy behind you does, well, guess what?
Yeah.
You end up turned around, and that's what happened.
I think it's the laws of physics. I'm not sure. But 87 laps complete, the 99 out to the front. This time, Payhood will go down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Pursley on the high side, and guess what? We've got another restart.
Payhood slid up the racetrack. That was a great move gets in the side of Pursley, but to keep that momentum going, McReynolds trying to make it 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Here goes Brandon McReynolds. He's got his nose down to the inside. The Napa car there, and contact between Pursley and Payhood, and the number 9 is going to go around. Dylan Lupton spins. They got kind of an accordion effect going there as those front 3 were racing side by side. How much fun is that to watch?
That was a great move by McReynolds to be able to get that forward drive and put it 3 wide. And at the same time, getting down into 1. You know, Payhood, he got sideways, but he saved it, did a great job.
Bob Brancati's got to be chewing his fingernails off tonight as he knows that Dylan Lupton has an opportunity to try to get back in this thing. And the number 6 of Bickford running side by side gets his nose in there, and that spins Lupton, and he's going to lose all that track position.
Yeah, that's typical short track racing. I'm not gonna say that was Bickford's fault. I think the spotter should have let known Lupton he was there.
I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm just saying there's a lot of action out there. All kinds of action tonight in the Toyota Napa Auto Parts 150. Heather DeBow is in the pits. I'm Ray Dunlap along with Todd Bodine high atop this interesting little 1/3 mile racetrack, and we have seen a lot of contact out there tonight, Onion.
Well, we kind of expected it. You know, that's short track racing. It's tight racing. It's hard racing. These guys, every chance you get to get a spot, you've got to go for it because you don't know if you're going to get that opportunity again.
It was so much fun to watch that last battle into the corner. Brandon McReynolds had some good forward bite. He drove down to the inside, took it 3 wide. Pursley was way outside. And now Michael Waltrip will be our wave around car.
That should put Mikey back on the lead lap, give him a shot for a good finish.
Picking up the lucky dog, I should say, not actually a wave around, but Michael will get back to the tail end of the field as we get ready to go once again. Down to the inside, the Napa race car. Brandon McReynolds hoping for his first win of the season. And he has been racing hard with all of these guys. 2 Bill McAnally cars on the front row, and we go back to green.
Payhood takes the outside lane, knowing that that's better than 1 and 2, but you got to be able to clear the guy when you get in 3 and 4 because this is exactly what happened. McReynolds gets a great drive off the corner.
Hey, I'm talking about Dylan Lupton and that great battle with Greg Pursley, but let's not count out Brandon McReynolds. He came into this race just 29 points out. Now, I know that's a bit of a long shot, but if he could pick up a win, who knows? These McAnally cars have been always good when we come to this racetrack, and for more on that, let's go back to the pits and Heather.
As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it is a big weekend for Bill McAnally Racing. Now, this is their home track here at Roseville, and they won 6 out of 8 races from 2008 to 2011. So the pressure is definitely on for all the cars that are racing for Bill tonight. I talked to Brandon earlier and asked him if he was feeling the pressure, but he just wants to go out there and do his thing. But one thing he feels good about is that he does have his family side today. His dad, Larry, his mom, and his sister are all here to support him. So he said it's really nice to have him out on the West Coast with him as he's racing.
Well, thank you, Heather. A pair of second-place finishes this year for McReynolds. That's been pretty good. He did that at Evergreen and at Bakersfield, but has yet to take that Napa car to victory lane.
We see David Mayhew back here in the pack a little bit. He's struggled a little bit. He can't get through these lap cars and make some moves and get some positions. So he's struggling a little bit tonight.
Ended up 16 laps down at Colorado, and as I said, it's been feast or famine for that number 17 car. They've been in victory lane or they've had some kind of trouble throughout the year. Steve McGowan and Steve Portengay, all those guys put together a really good race team. And guess what? I know this may surprise you, but the yellow is out once again.
Alex Schutte turned around here somehow.
T-Squared Motorsports Chevrolet. Speaking of Steve Portengay, another race car for him. Schutte looks like maybe.
Well, now we got some down in 1 and 2 turned around.
Maybe no damage there on Schutte's race car. The 21 rolling once again. We see Jack Sellers got spun around. That may have been something that happened after the initial spin.
That's Thomas Martin in that 5. That's his second time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. That is Thomas Martin. I said Jack Sellers. I apologize.
He got into the 21 of Alex Schutte. Don't know what happened down in 1 and 2, but, it's tight short track racing.
My apologies to Gentleman Jack. He's number 15. That wasn't his fault. All lies on Thomas Martin's back, but we do have the car stopped over in turns 3 and 4 while they do a bit of track cleanup here. One of the cars had significant damage, and they're going to have to clean that up and get it off the racetrack.
You speak of Jack Sellers. He's been one of the veterans in this series for a long time. He's been around a long time, won a lot of races. He's one of the guys that made this series what it is.
Well, we're going to have to clean up the track, so back after these messages. Inside of 25 laps to go, we're closing in on a good one tonight here at All-American Speedway in Roseville. The cars are lined up once again. We've had lots of yellows tonight, but looking for a great finish. Back to green flag racing, the 99 on the outside of Brandon McReynolds.
This time, Brandon chose the inside line, thinking that the outside was going to have that Speedy Dry in it, and put his teammate up there. Gets in the back of him, moves him out of the way a little bit. Payhood takes the lead.
Christian Payhood, as we mentioned, won the Peak Challenge, and boy, that's been interesting. As I talked to a lot of people involved with that, they all said this kid really, really stood out from the rest of the competitors.
You know, one thing, Ray, these guys, they can't make up their mind which lane they want to be as a leader. We've seen guys take the outside, we've seen guys take the inside, and the outside prevails just about every time.
Payhood now to the point. McReynolds second. We see the 26 of Persley running third. Heather told us earlier Persley would take a top 5 tonight and run. I'm not so sure he's not done challenging for the lead.
James Bickford's going to give him a fit here. He's getting good drive off the corner. Looks like Persley's starting to push a little bit through the middle of the corner, which absolutely can make no timer on the racetrack when it's pushing like that.
You know, Heather reminded us a while ago that Bickford won the late model championship here at this track. There's really no way to explain to people just how valuable that can be to run all year at one track and just know how this track is going to race.
Well, you understand the track. You understand which way it's going to go and the different grooves and where the grip is and what bump is where, and it just makes it that much easier when you get into these cars. But the difference is these cars have a lot more horsepower than those late models, so it is a lot different to drive.
Here comes Bickford. He's to the inside of Persley. He's putting pressure on him as they go 2 by 2 racing for third position. You know, I was talking about Mayhew on his feast or famine. It's been kind of like that for Bickford this year. Finished 25th at Phoenix and 21st at Sonoma, but he did pick up his first win this year at State Line Speedway. So some good and bad all rolled together.
Did a great job right there getting by Persley. I think he's probably got one of the best cars right now, the top 3 guys. We'll see if, 14 to go. It's going to be tough to get to the lead from there.
James Bickford running in third, and we're keeping our eye on David Mayhew as he's trying to make his way back through the field. Coming up now on Grayson Raz in that number 7 car.
Yeah, you can see David's really struggling. That car does not want to turn through the middle of the corner, and it makes it hard to make a pass when it's that way. You see he's trying the outside in move right here. Yeah, it gets in the back of grass a little bit.
But the other thing we saw there, Todd, in that shot was the fact that the 9 of Dylan Lupton is back there racing those guys, and Pursley ahead of him, and that could be significant in the points if they end up in a similar position.
Bickford underneath Brandon McReynolds for second right here.
Bickford coming to the front. There he goes. He's on the inside, and he's got a lap car in the way. Will that be a problem? No. He gets out of the way, and maybe not. Brandon able to fight him off as he comes up off the Hoff side. We're 10 laps to go.
I thought Bickford had a good car, and he's proven it right here. He's saved his tires and kept those rear tires on, getting great forward drive.
Nice job by Anthony Garbarino in the number 11. He could have held up those guys, but he dropped down to the inside and gave the front-running car some space.
How about Christian Payhood? 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go. Leading this race, first time for this team after coming out of that Peak Challenge and being the winner there. Doing a great job and got a shot to win this thing.
Patrick Staropoli, another driver who has gotten an opportunity in this car. He won at Irwindale earlier this year. And now Payhood trying to make good on that.
Payhood driving away from James Bickford here. Oh, and McReynolds to the inside, making it 3 wide.
These guys have an excellent battle back there for second as we're coming up on 5 laps to go. What a year it has been for Bill McAnally Racing. They start off the season with a win at Phoenix. Cole Custer went to victory lane. Then, as I said, Staropoli picked it up at Irwindale. Chris Eggleston picked up his first career win at Colorado, and tonight looking to go for their 4th win of the season. Can they hold it on?
I'll tell you what, Ray, I think if there was about 15 or 20 laps left, Bickford would have something for him. He's running them down.
We did have a spin, you see, coming off of the corner there. The number 82 got sideways. Braden Havens did spin it out, but NASCAR said he was able to get that car rolling quickly enough. Inside 10 laps, they usually try to hold off on that yellow flag, and now we're down to 3 to go for the number 99.
Payhood coming up on some lap traffic. We'll see if this makes a difference.
James Bickford trying to put some pressure on car number 99. Once again, Christian Payhood was on the pole tonight. He dropped back right at the very beginning of the green flag. We've seen 4 cars out front of this race tonight. But as we come down the front straightaway, he's going to get the white flag. 1 lap to go.
Lap cars move high, get out of the way. Looks like Payhood can get it to the checkered flag.
Christian Payhood now with pressure from the number 6. Bickford giving it everything he can, but Dayton, Ohio will celebrate tonight as Christian Payhood wins in his first ever career start in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West.
What a great drive. That kid did an excellent job. A little excited here, having some fun, but you know, he did a great job. He kept the fenders on it. Never, you know, he got back in the 3rd there for a while and just kind of rode and kept everything going straight.
Fantastic run tonight for the number 99 Peak race car. And once again, here at All-American Speedway, Bill McAnally Racing will be back in victory lane tonight. It'll be their 7th career win at this racetrack. That's very impressive.
They have obviously got something for this racetrack. McAnally Racing done a great job. 7, like you say, and there's certain teams that just understand how to get the cars to go around this track.
We'll hear from our winner. He did it in his first career start. How about that? Payhood will be in victory lane. Ray Dunlap, Todd Bodine, and Heather DeBow back here, and the winner tonight of the Napa Auto Parts 150 in his first ever career start is Christian Payhood. Let's go down trackside to Heather.
And here he is, Christian Payhood, walking away with the victory in his K&N West Series debut. Christian, that was awesome. Way to put it out there for these guys. Now, at what point were you thinking, I can win this thing?
We got to about 50 to go, and I told Eric Holmes on the radio, I said, we got to go. We got to try and get to the front and see if we get a late race restart on the front row and just hold them off from there. And it worked out. I mean, I just can't believe we're actually here. I entered a competition. It gave me a free ride with Bill McAnally and the whole Peak deal. And it's just amazing. The Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge put us through and put us to the top. It's just a first-class deal here with Bill and all his guys. I mean, they put everything together and got us out here and put it on a pole and won the race. I mean, I can't ask for much more on that one.
Now, how much does it mean to you to get a win for Bill McAnally Racing here at their home track of All-American Speedway?
Oh, it's amazing because I helped Bill out here putting up flags and putting up banners and setting up hospitality and everything. So that just makes it even better, just knowing that I worked to get here and be ready. And just, like I said, to get here and get this win. And like I said, I can't thank Peak Auto and Brian Emmerich and Ty Norris and Michael Waltrip and all them for supporting me.
Congratulations to Christian Pithood walking away with the victory here in his first K&N West start.
Well, thank you, Heather, and also congratulations to Roger Bracken, the crew chief there, and Eric Holmes was his spotter tonight. Holmes, a 4-time winner here at this track, so Bill McAnally Racing certainly very excited tonight. Bickford comes home second. Good run for him. Brandon McReynolds gets another third-place run, and with that 4th place, Greg Persley now has to go to Phoenix and finish 13th or better, and the championship will be in his hands. James Bickford, great run tonight in car number 6. He gets 2nd place. Let's hear from him. He's down trackside.
Standing by with 2nd place finisher James Bickford. Now, James, that was quite a battle at the end there. Tell us about what's going through your mind as you were trying to pass those last contenders there.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama at the beginning of the race for us. We led a few laps, which was great, but I think it was a mistake by picking the bottom line. I think it would have been it would have benefited us in the long run if we picked the high line, but it was still a tight race car, and it was hard to get first three laps after a restart. So that kind of killed us. But later in the day, or later in the run, it seemed like the car got better. I started to adapt to how to drive a tight race car like that, and it seemed as if we would have got to the front a little bit quicker, we would have had a shot. Because I personally thought we were the fastest car on the field. So it was a great day for us, but it looked like that 38 just got a little bit loose, and that kind of screwed us up, and had to work to get back. Got pretty close, but wasn't enough to win. So it was a great day for the Sunrise Ford Interstate Plastics team. Interstate Plastics coming out was great. They had a lot of support, pit tour, and it was definitely a good day for them. I'm sure they're happy with the 2nd, but a win would have been great. So.
And that's a 2nd place finish for your 2014 Rookie of the Year, James Bickford.
Well, thank you, Heather. His teammate tonight, Dylan Lupton, finished back in 9th after a spin. And Todd, your thoughts on the points race?
Yeah, unfortunately, Lupton gave up 6 points to Persley tonight, and you can't do that with 2 races to go.
McReynolds is 3rd in points and 3rd in the race.
Here with Brandon McReynolds as he gets his 9th consecutive top 5 finish. Now, Brandon, talk about that battle there at the end. The last 10 laps, you, the 6, the 99, you guys were really battling it out there.
Yeah, the 6 was definitely a sleeper. He saved his stuff pretty good. And, I just hate it. That's probably the best chance we've had at winning a race all year. And I think we've led the most laps. I could be wrong. But just the restarts are strange tonight. It's like one time the top would go, the next time the bottom would go. And me and Jeff, my crew chief, just talked about that last restart, wanted to go at the bottom, and it didn't go like it had earlier. And, some of that's on me. I started overdriving my car when I got behind, and the 6 got around us. But good run by our Napa guys, and I'll definitely be taking the heat on that whole deal, so it's all good.
All right, Brandon McReynolds with the 3rd place finish for Bill McAnally Racing.
Well, Brandon looks a little down after that 3rd place run, but I got to tell you, Todd, that was some of the most fun racing I've seen in a long, long time.
Absolutely. Brandon wanted to win this race. It's the closest, like he said, it's the closest he's been to getting there, and just didn't get it done.
Next race in action coming your way right here on Fox Sports 1. That'll be Saturday, November 1st. You can tune in at 10 a.m. for the Wheelin' Modified Tour coming to you from Thompson Speedway. Well, we had a lot of action tonight here at this racetrack. Bill McAnally Racing has pretty much owned it, and once again tonight they visit Victory Lane. Caution fever was underway early on throughout the night, but how about this? They're going 3 wide for the win. We had a ball here at the All-American Speedway, and congratulations goes out to a first-time winner. The number 99 goes to Victory Lane. He's the 9th different winner of 2014. For Todd Bodine and Heather DeBow, I'm Ray Dunlap. Join us next time as we take the K&N coast to coast.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.